Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Kind of funky.
Did you make this?
No, this is stock.
Ah, nice.
I tapped my friend. I tapped my friend Max to make me a theme song. I'm still waiting on it.
We can always do it in post, you know?
Yeah. This one's good. It's funky. It's long. Right.
Yeah. So do you start with like a little intro, like "Welcome to the Hunter Davidson podcast"? Does this have a name?
Yes. Well, that is a great question, Jesse, and I'm glad you asked that. As we fade out, and we say, "Welcome to the damn show." And you lead with an interesting question, Jesse, which is, does the program have a name? And the answer is officially no, it does not.
Because like I've been texting my friends about and my parents about coming on here.
No way.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going on the Hunter Davidson podcast.
Really?
Like, the Hunter Davidson podcast.
Interesting.
All caps.
Nice.
Or like caps at the beginning of each word.
Well, the tentative working title is the Hunter Davidson Radio Hour.
Oh, I love
Radio
that.
program?
Radio Hour.
Radio Hour.
Radio
I
Hour.
think
I
it
like that
sounds
a lot.
good like that.
And then
Right?
each episode's like an hour.
Yeah, right?
I like
That's
that a lot.
kinda good.
It's the Hunter cast in my Google Calendar.
Nice.
3 p.m. to 4
Yeah,
p.m.
I was thinking like Hunterville.
No.
Hunterville.
No.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
hunting
Right, Huntsville.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hunterville.
I don't know.
Hunterville, Alabama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, no, the program doesn't have a name, but this is a very special day
Yeah.
because today is the first episode where we have video capabilities. And of course, we're joined with somebody that I love dearly. Someone that, you know, and I say this hesitantly at fear of inflating your ego, but you're
already
something of a
inflated.
legend. You're something
I
of
feel
a
like
myth,
It's too inflated.
a mythical creature, a legendary figure.
Wow.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Jesse Krugel. I'm an incoming senior at the University of Michigan, studying film, television, and media. And also minoring in political science
Oh.
and Judaic studies.
Oh my God, double minor?
Yeah, double minor, gonna be a rabbi. No.
No, not really. But okay. Let's start. Man, where do we want to start? Because let's start from the beginning. Where are you from, Jesse?
I'm from Novi, Michigan. It's like 35 minutes from Ann Arbor.
You're a hometown boy,
Yeah.
local boy.
Yeah.
You've been a Michigan fan your whole life?
Been a Michigan fan my whole life. We've had season tickets to the football games my whole life. I can't remember a Saturday in the fall not watching Michigan football.
Nice. And you've also been Jewish your whole life?
Yes. Circumcised 7 days after I came out the womb at my bris. Maybe 8. I think it's 8 days actually.
Is it? I actually
And I
don't
would
know.
say I was Jewish ever since then. So
Ever since
maybe the
then.
first 7 days of my life.
You
I wasn't.
were kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
And you knew so okay, I'm curious about Judaic studies.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm studying it.
Okay.
I took a Jewish film class
Okay.
because I need the transnational requirement.
Yeah.
And I'm Jewish and I like movies and
Yeah.
I like where those two things intersect as
They have a
well.
fun intersection.
Yeah, a very historic intersection as well.
Yeah.
And
why,
I took
why,
that
why do you
class.
say that?
there's just a lot of history of Jews in film and like we run Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. And then I took a history of the Arab-Israeli conflict class. So I had
more real.
very
Yeah.
real, but I did sleep through every lecture
Mm-hmm.
because the professor didn't have any slides and he just talked for the whole hour and a half and I was exhausted.
Yeah, you're a
Out like
busy
a light.
guy.
Great nap. Great nap twice a week.
Good time to sleep.
Yeah. But I did get an A in the class and I did feel like I learned stuff. So I
Now,
think it's okay to sleep in class.
Let me ask you this. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm
if you're
fully on board with that. Did you like Hebrew school? Because I feel like
I don't think anyone liked Hebrew school, but I was a good student in Hebrew school.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no incentive to be a good student in Hebrew
Right,
school.
right.
Like, incentive to be a good student in school is like, you get good grades, you
Right,
can get into
sure.
a good college, you
Mhm.
can have you can do what you want.
Right.
Like, incentive in Hebrew school is what?
Just like
Everyone's gonna have a bar
flex on
mitzvah
everyone.
anyway.
That's true. Why was I going so? I think maybe me and you were just wired like that. Like
Yeah.
these fucking chumps here. Like I'm gonna learn my alphabet.
Yeah. And like I did a good job. I was good at Hebrew. I was in
Yeah.
the advanced Hebrew class.
See, but I was like there was never a point because I remember being 12 and Katie, our producer. Did I introduce you?
No.
I thought you were going to introduce her when you introduced
Yeah,
me.
I was going to, and then I just kind of, you said Judaic studies, and I kind of
Yeah.
short-circuited.
It's okay, I'm a ghost.
We also have you're our super producer,
Super producer.
Katie Fitzgibbons. And I'm going to let the whole applause track play for this one.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So much love.
Thank you for being here, Katie.
Thanks for having
keeping
me.
us honest, keeping us in check.
Yeah, none of this I can really fact check unless
Right.
I'm going to like
Yeah.
go to your
You can go to
family.
my LSA internal audit thing.
You can
See if I've completed all the credits.
yeah.
You can contact my religious school teachers and see if I actually
Yeah.
did good in
Right.
Hebrew class.
But that's interesting because what I was going to say, now that you've been introduced, what I was going to say is I remember being like 12 and people telling me like, you could make a great rabbi one day. Like you could do
Yeah.
the rabbinical thing. And I remember being like 11, 10, 12, being like, no fucking way
Yeah.
am I going to do that. And I don't want to say that to be sacrilegious because I did like being Jewish.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm sure you do.
Of course.
Big
Big
but,
part of my
but there was
identity.
never, as I knew in my head, I was like, as soon as I get mitzvahed, that's the end of my Jewish education.
Mm.
And I don't know, does that make me a bad Jew?
Not at all. I don't think so. Being Jewish isn't about religion for me.
Ooh, I like that.
It's like a
Elaborate
culture.
on that.
It's a culture and a tradition. I think more.
Yeah, it's a
for me.
cultural
I mean,
thing. Yeah,
obviously,
no,
there's
I
people
agree.
who the religion's bigger for. Not
yeah.
me.
All right, let's move away from Judaism,
Yeah.
man.
But I'm minoring in that because I took 2
Yeah.
classes and then I only needed 3 more. I was like,
yeah,
they're
might as
interesting. I
well
can do
throw
it.
on. Because you never know what doors that'll open. I like that.
Exactly.
Now, how have you been making movies for a while? When did you get the bug?
I got the bug probably like 6 years old with my
Nice.
Lego guys making some
Nice.
stop motion
Nice.
stuff that you can still find on YouTube.
Under
Uh,
Krugel.
no, it's under my dad's account. You gotta look up Noah Krugel.
No Krugs.
Yeah.
Make it start. We
the-
talking Star Wars. We're talking.
There's
Harry
Star
Potter.
Wars. There's this guy named Action Guy who was like the superhero that my brother and I created. That's where I got the start with the Lego stop motion, and then just short films around the house. There was CSI Novi.
Ooh,
That's on YouTube
whoa.
as well.
How old were you when you made that?
I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I have unlisted all of my old YouTube videos, but I have a similar.
Yeah, I think half of them are unlisted
Yeah.
for me. It's a little embarrassing.
I started the Davidson Co-Productions
Yeah.
with my special needs brother when I
Yeah.
was like 5. He was
Oh,
the only
man.
dude. At first, I did eventually. I was able to get my friends involved, but at
Nice.
first, my brother was the only person I could
Yeah.
get to hold a camera and be another actor.
So true.
So I remember Handgun Revolution was a big one,
Nice.
which was there was this iPhone.
That's a good
app.
title, I feel like.
There's this iPhone app where you could
Action movie effects. Is that it?
you fucking know that.
I love action movie effects, bro.
Right.
There's a great video of me blowing up my mom on the couch.
Yeah, man. With
It
the
still cracks
with
her
the
up.
missile launch one.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a classic one. But
great
it also had I thought its coolest feature and actually like a subversive feature. Not subversive. What the fuck am I saying? A feature that was ahead of its time was that you could put like a muzzle flash. You could put
Whoa.
like a muzzle flash into any video, which was something that like without a plugin like that, it could take potentially hours to do that in like After Effects, but you
Yeah.
could just so Handgun Revolution,
I used the dancing one that had like all the filters, but I never used action movie effects.
Action movie effects are so fun.
the dancing one.
You know. It's like pre-TikTok. I'll find what it's called.
Did you ever do elf on your elf yourself?
No.
What was it?
Oh,
Go elf yourself?
Oh, yeah. And then you turn into the little dancing elves. Yeah.
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 Around
I did
holidays?
that.
Yeah.
No, I would say the pinnacle of my like homemade movie career was when we went to Home Depot and got some PVC pipe. And then we went to Joann Fabrics and got a giant sheet of green fabric. and then did the homemade green screen.
Nice,
And, like,
dude. Wow, that's like
That's where I got
that's
into
legit.
After Effects and like,
Nice.
keying out. Probably the first thing I learned of that was how to like key out green screen, and then
Fuck yeah.
we did like my brother's name is Adam, and we did Adam flies, and then we just put him
Classic.
going like Superman in the sky, and like
Classic.
that's on YouTube.
And why do you think Adam didn't, take to filmmaking the way that you did?
One thing I would say is I'm the older brother, so I'm the leader. So I'm the one taking the wheel. Like he can be in front of the camera, but I'm gonna be behind the camera
Calling
directing,
the shots.
editing, calling the shots. But he still has that super creative aspect to him.
Yeah.
I think he can conceptualize a story way better than I can.
Nice.
Like I don't know what's going on in his
Really?
brain, but like
Interesting.
I think he's brilliant in that sense. And like I could see him working in a writer's room one day. For like,
Wow.
I mean, he loves like the Rick and Morty, but also like
Nice.
the younger kid animated TV shows. Like
Sure.
he loved
Gravity
regular show,
Falls.
Gravity Falls,
Yeah.
like Adventure Time.
I was never into that baby shit.
So say if I found Adam Flies, can we watch it right now?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we can watch it right now.
Look up Adam Flies.
No, I found it. Don't worry.
Oh, you did find
That is
That's
great
crazy.
producing. And hold on, let me.
I don't know if I can turn
All right,
this.
we got.
Wow, I hope he.
We should be wired in, so we'll have audio coming in, and I can put the video on in
Oh
post.
man.
Woo! This is so cool. I never thought I'd be doing this. Oh my god, this is so cool.
The best part is like
Whoa,
where the
that
green
was
screen is off,
awesome.
and you can like see our basement floor.
Woo! I can't believe I'm doing this.
Good acting.
Great acting. We even the video's a little low quality, but
Bumble
we even
is-
had a fan like in front of him, like blowing air, so it was like hair. Like,
No, that was pretty impressive,
Yeah.
man.
That's
How old were you
crazy.
when you made that?
what does it say on the year
9
there?
years ago.
9 years ago. Yeah,
So
12.
12?
Adam would have been 10,
10 or 11, depending on when it
Damn.
was made.
That's good stuff, man. That's what it's all about. So you, day one. Well, actually, how did we meet? Do you remember?
Well, I heard your name when I was a part of Wolverine Sports TV.
Wolverine Sports TV.
And I worked in the
That's one of the
studio
new sound effects. You
while
like
we
that,
were producing the show. And you would do like a weekly recap of Michigan sports.
This would be your freshman year, my
Yeah.
sophomore year.
Deep into COVID, one of the
The
only things I
height
could
of
do
COVID.
was go into the film studio.
It was one of the only ways you could really get human interaction
I agreed, yeah.
legally. Was putting on a mask
Yeah.
and going into the basement of North Quad.
It was the only way I could like get into a school building. Even.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah,
freshman year.
and especially do film stuff.
yeah.
And then this is the part of the program that I want to shout out Seaver Glarum,
Oh my gosh, always the goat.
the goat of
I,
Wolf TV.
anytime he posts on Instagram, I just comment the goat
Goat.
emoji.
Goat. Yeah, you have to. And
It's like auto. I
of
should
course,
just write a program to do it for me.
you should code something
Yeah.
that comments.
Like I'm just
goat.
gonna do it every time. It could save me some time anyway.
Yeah. And of course, David Woodruff, Vanessa Litcher.
Oh yes,
Uh,
great people.
Awesome.
That might not even remember me, but I remember them.
I think they do. Actually, I went and saw them the other day, and I was just hanging out with Jesse Krugel, and Seaver was like, yeah, Jesse, you gotta say hi to Jesse. And Vanessa said, is that fucking ginger kid?
That's how they always do it. They always remember the hair,
So,
and I
Pete-
like that about me.
Yeah, no, it's good, and we're gonna get into your personal branding later, because I have a lot of questions about it. Fuck it, dude. We're 15 minutes in.
Oh, yeah.
Let's introduce this.
Well, I didn't want Charlie to get it before you did.
Yeah.
This is my studio warming gift to you. I didn't know Katie was gonna be here. I only have 2 Oberons.
That's fucking
That's
fine.
okay.
Katie
But-
doesn't get one.
I saw
clock.
you were recording another episode and there was beer on the table. I was like,
dude.
it would be a great idea to bring some
I
beer.
love it.
I'm moving
man.
out of my college house. I should empty my fridge.
Let's get. Oh,
Woo.
that was good. Let me get one here. Ooh,
Sounded good.
ooh. Katie, there's PBR in the fridge if you want one.
I think I'm okay for now. I think if I have a beer, I'm gonna pass out.
Tummy's gonna hurt a little bit.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So, you started because the first time I heard about you was in a sports context, and the thing that was interesting about Wolf Sports TV, I thought, was that I think about 50% of the people involved there were looking for a future in sports journalism. I think about 20% were in the film, TV, entertainment field, didn't necessarily want to work in sports, but really like sports, and then probably the remaining 30 were just doing it for hobby. Now, how would you classify yourself at the time? Were you like sports? I've loved sports my whole life. I've been watching Michigan football every Saturday my whole life. So I want to work in this, or was it I like film, I like sports?
I think it's similar to where it is now. I want to leave my options open. I like sports, but I'm not like a diehard. I need to work in sports broadcasting. I think it would be cool. I think I'd be good at it. I love sports.
And you're doing a lot with Big Ten.
And I do a lot with Big Ten right now. I think it's a little bit easier of an industry to work in than like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Not from like being an announcer, but from the options.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of like wherever you go, there's gonna be sports going on.
You can cover sports in any state.
Yeah. And it'll be lower level, like but I think
Yeah.
there's a little bit more openings. Like if you're working in film and TV, you really have to go to like
LA,
one of
New
three
York.
places, 2 places. Even.
Yeah.
But you can go anywhere and work in sports. Like
you could cover like high school football in like Iowa.
yeah, like you could. I don't want to, but you could. And like I don't know, like I feel like locally, like there's like Bally Sports Detroit, and I feel like there's opportunity there
they
if I
just
wanted
folded.
to. They might be done.
I believe
but
they
something
just
will
collapsed.
replace it.
But yeah,
Like there was Fox Sports Detroit.
Yeah. Hold
Someone's
on,
gonna
let me put water in her cup really quick.
Okay.
Let's-
I got
you got it? Oh, thank you. Let's get a round of applause for producer Katie really quick. Oh yeah. Filling up water. Now, one of the other things that I love about you, Jesse, one of the many things I love about you, is that you're very well prepared. You
I try.
Yeah, and it's like I try to surround I think the most important thing you can do is know your strength, know what you're good at, but more importantly, know what you're not good at, right? That's what everybody says.
For sure.
And I'm not the most organized guy, and you are.
I think it's funny that you see that. I'm organized with certain things. I feel like I'm
Your
always
handwriting
lacking.
is awful.
My handwriting sucks. You probably can't even read this.
No.
Um,
But I bring this up to say you're here on what is technically the premiere episode
wow.
of the show. Technically, the premiere episode of the
I
show.
love it.
And I asked you to be a guest on the show, and you very graciously said yes. And I was like, awesome. And you were like, what's the show about? And I was like, fucking life. I don't know. And you can content-wise have done probably more preparation than I have.
I think it comes from I think my organizational skills and coming prepared comes from like an anxiety
Nice.
place. Like I'm anxious about what I'm doing 3 days from now. What can I
Yeah.
do now to prepare for it?
Nice.
I feel like.
I like that.
I'm like that too.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, I need to be organized. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm so anxious about this. What can I do now to
Let's
like
set it up,
calm
set
the
it up, set it
anxiety?
Interesting. And see, my response is, because I have the same, stimuli.
Yeah. Of course.
And my response is like, I guess I'll sit around and do nothing until it's time to go.
Well, there's certain things I procrastinate for sure.
Sure. Because we were going through your college career, really, which is what I'm interested in.
For sure.
Okay, so where did you live freshman year?
Freshman year, first semester, I was in South Quad.
Got sent home.
Yeah, everyone got
South
sent home for second semester, but I came back and lived in an apartment on South Forest with some friends I had met first semester that I currently live with now.
And there's not a lot going on. What are you doing? Like, what do you do? Like, how are you staying? How are you, like, it's your freshman year of college.
How am I meeting people? How am I getting started? Oh,
How are
yeah.
you not fucking losing your mind?
So I stupidly, looking back, I shouldn't have done this. If I was a parent, I probably wouldn't have let my kid do this. But I rushed a fraternity.
Now that's interesting.
Dirty
because-
rush. I didn't think I was going to do that when I got to college, but I think there was a lot of pressure.
You had to meet, you couldn't talk to your roommate even, really,
It's
right?
Pretty
You
much,
couldn't
pretty
go
much. And I
across
couldn't
the
talk to
hall
people
in
on my
your
hall.
dorm.
Like, so I dirty rushed a fraternity, like praying that I wouldn't get COVID. And I didn't somehow.
I had two guys on the show that had been talking about, coming on the podcast since before it had even been conceptualized.
Yeah.
And we also talked about frat rushing. and we're gonna get into this more, but I just wanted to it was funny you said you were terrified about getting COVID. The frat they were in, they went the herd immunity route.
Yeah, everyone gets it, take a week off, and then
One guy got COVID,
Yeah.
and so he put 3 of the Zyn pouches in his mouth and filled a cup up with his spit, his COVID spit,
and then gave it to everyone.
and everyone drank out of the cup.
No way. No way. Oh my god.
So while you were terrified of getting COVID, they were.
It wasn't like a fear of like getting sick. It was a fear of
I wasn't
like
saying that like that.
what
Yeah.
people would think of me, like getting
and,
other
like,
people sick.
and like
getting
will I
my
get
roommate
sent
sick
home?
especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what's gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an ostracization.
For sure. And like I felt bad because my roommate wasn't going out. Are there like
Right.
buzzwords that you're trying to use? And then you
No,
platform
I
them?
just used a really big word.
Oh, big words.
So-
Get class. Okay.
Saying
I'll keep
it's
that in
so
mind.
floss.
Okay, that in mind. I didn't want to get my roommate sick because he
Right.
he didn't want to get sick and he wasn't going out. So I felt bad that I was going out every night and getting drunk and
Right.
seeing a lot of people.
But at the same time, it's your freshman year of college.
Exactly. And so
Slippery
I
slope.
got into the fraternity, and I'm like really grateful for that because I probably wouldn't be in film if it wasn't because of that.
Interesting.
I didn't come here knowing I wanted to do film.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah. But then it's always been in the back of my mind. Like I was
Right.
always interested in movies. I've been interested in screenwriting for a while. I read a screenwriting book in like 7th grade and like wrote up a report on it
Nice.
for like when you could choose what you wanted
Right.
to
So
read.
you have the mind.
Yeah.
You have the story mind.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay,
And it was always
so-
in the back of my mind, but I never felt like I could do it. It felt like too much of like a reach.
And at this point in time, you're thinking politics,
Actually, comp sci.
computer science.
Yeah, and I took
Wow.
like 2 comp sci classes and calc, and then I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
Oh yeah, I don't hate myself.
The problem was like with comp sci homework, it could take 2 hours or it could take 8 hours,
Yeah.
and like I can't schedule my life like that.
Right.
I'm too much of a busy guy.
You have 2. I've seen your Google Calendar. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But the silver lining of freshman year was my fraternity brother Matthew Jason was working on the FTVM 423 project. And he knew I was like slightly interested in film. Second semester I took 150 and 210. And he's like, Jesse, like, do you want to come on set for a day and like see what's up? And I walked into the Airbnb that we'd rented in Ferndale for shooting
For the
that
shoot.
weekend. And it's just like people milling about
Yeah.
like here and there really
Great
fast.
energy on set. yeah.
Great energy on set. And I was like, holy shit, this is like organized chaos. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but like this is
This
fun.
is it. I'm liking it.
And I
It's-
liked the energy. I loved the people. Like I
Nice.
was vibing.
and
Like
what
by the end of the
project was
first
that?
day, it's called Flux.
Flux.
Yeah, and I met so many people that like every single project I've worked on since then basically is because of the people I met there.
It's
Like,
downstream of
Yeah.
of Flux. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Um,
And that's second semester freshman year.
yes.
Okay.
It was a spring. Coolest part of that 423 is we went on a road trip to Kentucky
Ooh.
and like spent a weekend in Kentucky and
Ooh.
shot in Kentucky, and in Cincinnati, and like it was so
Hmm.
fun.
That is cool.
And like that was COVID year. I'd just gotten vaccinated, so like no,
But
all my
you went
roommates
down to where
weren't
COVID
doing
didn't
anything.
exist.
But I exactly.
Yeah.
All my roommates weren't doing anything, but like I was going out and hanging out with like 15 awesome people
Yeah.
and just having a great weekend. And I did
Nice.
sound mostly on that NPA'd.
Nice, dude. But at some point, because I'm trying to lead us to your life as a campaign advisor, because
Oh,
at some
campaign
point
advisor,
the political bugs
The political bugs
got you. The
kind of
bug.
got me. I think politics has a lot to do with media, and I was looking for an internship after sophomore year. And I applied to all the big film ones, and I tried to reach out to a couple like small script coverage film ones, and it wasn't having any luck. But this is a little bit of a tangent.
Go ahead.
But second semester sophomore year, I come back and I go to a party at my high school friend's apartment. And I hadn't gotten COVID yet, but that party we all played Rage Cage, and
you
me
got
and
COVID.
all my friends got
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, right.
And I was living in the fraternity house at this point, and I didn't want to get my roommate sick. So I was like, hey, Sia, who was my high school friend that hosted the party, like, you're all sick. Can I just come quarantine at your guys' place?
We'll
Because
make
you
a
guys are going
little
to be quarantining.
pod. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah. So I slept on the couch for like 5 days. And we had like 8 people in their 3-person apartment all with
Nice.
COVID quarantining.
Nice.
One of those people was Gretchen Whitmer's daughter, who I became. Yeah, clap it up.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with applause on that one.
So
Who?
being,
Doxer, what's her first name?
her first name,
Shout out.
her last name's not actually Whitmer.
Oh, we'll keep
I'm
it
sure
private.
you could
We'll
find
keep it
it.
private.
And like
Friend of the
online.
show. Do you think you could get her on the program?
Potentially. We could look into that. But being locked in a small apartment for a week with a bunch of people, we all became really close. And so we formed this friend group, which the group chat's name is the Quarren Team. Because we were a team while quarantining. It's just helpful to like differentiate my friend groups with like
Names.
I also do.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Sure.
And then when I tell my parents, they're like, "What?" Like I was
Yeah,
like,
who
"Oh, I'm
the
hanging out with a quarantine." They're like, "Who?"
You're like, shut up.
Yeah. But then she like texted me one day in the spring. He's like, "Hey, do you know anyone that'd be interested in this job on my mom's campaign?" And I like looked at the offer. I was like, "Me?"
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I was like, "Me," but I think I'm a little underqualified. Here's what you can do. You can send it to Mary Lou.
Mhm.
And I gave her Mary Lou's email, and she sent out a blast. I ended up applying.
Mhm. And the other thing is, I think, can you even be underqualified for a job in politics?
Interesting.
Sorry,
That was a good
joke.
joke. That was a good joke.
Okay.
You definitely can, but you can
Yeah.
you can make it.
You can still
far.
do it, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So I didn't get that job, but
But
they
you-
were like, "We like you. We like what you're doing.
And
we'll
did
give you
you get
this."
an interview?
I got 2 interviews.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
And then at the end, I kept in touch. I think being persistent is really important in the job search.
Sure.
Like if you don't hear anything after a couple days, just reach back out, be like, "Hey, like, how's it
What's
going?
going on? Yeah.
When will I hear back from you?" And I think that's the only reason I got the job.
Nice.
Because they didn't offer me the job I applied for, but they said, "We made this new position for
We've
you.
created
An
opening
assistant.
for
We're
you."
gonna need help."
And
Can you
that's
come
the
do it?
Jesse Krugel effect, dude.
And I said, "Hell yeah."
Creating positions.
I said,
at
"Hell yeah."
companies.
You have to take the semester off. Can you still do it? Hell yeah.
And
It was the best decision I've ever made.
So best decision you've ever made.
100%.
Wow. Wow.
I don't
Why?
cry that much, but the last day of the campaign when Gretchen Whitmer made her victory speech, I was like in shambles, just like crying so hard.
Because you're a fucking
I said
lib cock. Fucking. No, I'm sorry.
I say half of it because of like exhaustion. I was
Yeah.
working 7 days
Right,
a week,
that's
sleeping
what I
like
was gonna
3
ask.
hours a night.
A gratifying feeling for like probably the most work you've ever done on something.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think it made me a better like worker. Like
Word.
I found like school was easier because I just was able to be more productive.
And you met, obviously, you met a lot of people.
Met some
to
cool
keep in touch
people.
with.
Didn't meet Obama because I got a sinus infection the day that he came. Damn.
Damn, that would have been a legendary photo. op.
I know. It's
Kru-
like
Krugel
so
and
sad.
Obama on the
It's
fucking
so
grid.
sad. But I met Pete Buttigieg, a bunch of like Michigan reps.
And remind me because this is your sophomore year.
This is the summer between sophomore and junior.
Okay, and which is around the time that I want to say me and you are becoming more aware of each other.
Yes. Once I took the first semester of junior year off to do
Right.
this, and like that's when I pretty much met you. I was
Right.
interviewing you for m-agination.
that's,
And we really wanted you on the team, but we needed a
That's
way
what
to
it
get you
was.
around the loophole of we don't take seniors.
because I had met your girlfriend.
Yeah. Whoa! Give it a clap. Give it a clap.
Yeah, hold on, sorry. It's just I have to like switch.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I got you.
It's a lot of work. I had met her in LA, and I didn't know who the fuck she was. But I somehow found out that she was connected to you, and I didn't really know who you were. But we had also, every time we saw each other,
We like knew.
There
I knew who you were. I
there
was like,
was-
no way he remembers the little ginger kid behind the camera at Wolverine Sports.
well, I
TV.
remember Krugel Ginger, and we had played basketball like one time. But also
Wow.
it was like it was just an energy match. I felt. Do you remember playing beer pong at the first M-Match party?
this year.
Year prior at Lara's house.
Oh yeah.
Because that was the first
Yeah.
time I remember being like, man, this guy.
Outside after the
Yeah.
festival. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we had like a little full circle moment. It's, you know, this might not be interesting for podcast listeners, but we had a little full circle moment at the, you know, 1 year thing this year. But all this
for
to say,
sure. Oh, that's good.
yeah, it was nice. All that to say, I'm becoming more. I'm like I meet Morgan in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there with and I'm staying with them, and they're like, this. She's talking to Jesse Krugel. Do you know Jesse Krugel? I'm like, I kind like a little bit, and they're like, yeah, fuck that guy. I'm like, what? They're like, no, we love him. I'm like, fuck him, right? And I
So
remembered,
true.
and this is, I want to segue this into talking about the sweatshirts that we're wearing. Fuck you, Jesse
yeah.
Krugel, because I think this is probably the way that a lot of people know who you are at this point.
It's crazy. I've actually talked to people who are like, oh my God, you're the guy that Ben and that. Oh, that's the wrong side.
Hold on. You're the guy that
And hate.
yeah keeps saying to go fuck himself or whatever.
Yeah. And I was
so,
like, yeah, that's me.
So tell me how that started. Well, first of all, tell me how it started first.
I really don't know how it started. Ben and Justin.
I think it was Justin editing, just kind of fucking around.
Yeah, they made a sketch and they put some funny credits in it before the real credits. The first credit was directed by D's Nuts.
Right. And then there was like JoJo walked in on me in the bathroom.
Yeah,
like
it
what
was
did you
Laura.
see? Or Laura. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
What did you see? And then it's like a whole paragraph on
Right,
screen.
yeah.
Like,
And this is during the end credits of like a whole festival.
Yeah.
Everyone's there, everyone's cracking up.
yeah. And then the next slide is just fuck you, Jesse Krugel.
Raucous applause. and
I had
laughter.
no idea it was coming. I'm just like, what?
And like it may have been the biggest reaction of the whole night when that came
and
on
like my
screen.
parents were there. They were like, what? Like it was
And I was
funny.
there. I was in the audience, and we hadn't talked at that point. And I was like, man, that's fucking hilarious. But
Yeah.
I figured you had something to do with it at that
Nothing.
time.
No idea. But then a bunch of my friends just started saying like "fuck you, Jesse Krugel," and then like
And it
posting
became
on their
became a
story.
copy pasta of sorts.
Yeah, a little bit.
So when did you think? And I asked you this, and I asked your mom this a couple weeks ago. When were you like, I'm gonna turn this into my thing?
Well, I love being the center of attention.
Oh shit, I'm slow on it.
So that was like a really fun moment for me.
Right.
And people were like embracing it. I don't
Yeah.
like to like seek it out too much, but
Right.
when people are like saying it, like
Because it feels the best when you only do a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes around a lot.
exactly.
And the joke obviously was that you're just like the nicest guy. So like telling you like fuck you in front of hundreds of people
Is
and your
ironic.
mom is like really funny.
Yeah, hilarious.
But if it had said fuck you Hunter Davidson up there, right?
it would be similar.
I'd be
I
like,
think.
that's funny.
Yeah.
But I would be like, I can't like if I printed out if my mom, dude, if I was printing out fuck you Hunter Davidson sweatshirts and giving to my friends, my mom would be like, no.
Well, my mom probably says that phrase the most out of any person in the entire
No,
world.
dude.
She used to say like, "Do as I say." No. Oh shit! I don't remember it.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, and so like, don't swear like I do, but do as I say.
Yeah. Fucking don't
Like
fucking
I wouldn't
swear.
do the laundry. I wouldn't do the dishes. Like fuck you, Jesse. Like
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
So
I probably heard my first F bomb from my
mom.
mom.
Absolutely mine was from Pops for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so trying.
It's so funny too. I used to hate swearing. Like I would be the kid at camp who would like tattle
say
on
that.
my fellow campers for swearing. And now I love it. Like swearing is so fun.
It's awesome. Do you remember
I have such a dirty mouth.
Do you remember when you first started to swear?
It definitely happened at camp when there's no
Nice.
parents around. Like
Nice.
saying the F word all the time is
Yeah.
so cool.
Dude, I remember being in middle school and when the fucking homies first started to like,
Yeah.
yo, dude, fuck.
Fuck, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck.
That's good stuff. So I'm trying. Sorry, we got
No,
sidetracked.
we went on a little fuck tangent.
Because I want to talk. Because I still want to talk about fuck you, Jesse Krugel.
Oh yeah.
Because there's even still steps between it going on the screen, it becoming a meme, it becoming a sweatshirt,
Yeah.
and then it becoming like something that I feel like, and tell me if this is off base, but it's kind of becoming like a brand.
I know, and I'm hesitant. I'm a little reluctant. I don't know. I'm scared to make it a brand
Mm-hmm.
because that would require a lot of input from me.
It would require work.
No, I'm fine doing the work, but it's like, what is the goal?
Sure. Like, should I?
Am I stretching it out too much? Like,
I
people
don't
have
think
said
it's
they
like
would
that.
buy the sweatshirts. Like,
You
am I
could-
okay selling that?
You
I
could
don't
sell
know.
these sweatshirts, but that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at is like, is there a part of you that's like obviously it's a joke and it's really
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
and it's an awesome sweatshirt to wear.
I know.
And every time I wear it, people are like, you got to explain that.
I know.
And
No, Morgan wore it crossing the border back into the United States from Canada, and the border guard was like, "What is that?
Who
Who's
is that?"
Jesse
She's like,
Krugel?"
"Oh, that's not my friend."
And she pointed to me. She's like, "It's that guy." And he was like, "Oh, fuck you."
yeah, fucking go fuck yourself. Actually stay in goddamn Canada.
Yeah, literally.
But is there any part of you that's like, it makes me feel a little bad?
Oh. Not really.
Nice.
I kind of love it.
That's good.
And I like giving people the sweatshirts as a gift because it's
Awesome.
like I've given it to
and
my.
I've saved my stationery. It's right up there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was the next step of it. I
That's
wanted
awesome.
to add a little stationery to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really nice. It's good.
It's been fun.
And it's
Like it's kind of like a grad gift. Like most people I've given it to are like they
Outgoing
graduated
student going out in
and
the
they're
world.
leaving, and it's like from a place of like they're going far away from me, but I still want them to give me a job in a few years.
Right.
So if they're wearing my name on them once in a while, they'll remember.
You did so much research where?
On the campaign.
Finding dirt on Republicans.
Oh yeah, so much dirt. We had a whole team dedicated to it. I was at like the digital table, but the table behind me was the research team, and they were crazy. Just like so much.
So what did you do? You tweeted mostly.
I wrote copy for tweets and Instagram posts, and I made like graphics that we posted, and I edited like hundreds and thousands of photos that I took at events. It kind of shifted as like we went on with the campaign. Like the last like 3 weeks of it were like taking photos at every single campaign event every day, and the beginning half of it was like writing tweets. And like Roe v. Wade was overturned during the course of
Right, that was huge.
my time there.
Wow,
And so
okay,
like
that's a good
from the
question.
beginning we were anticipating it being overturned, and then it kind of happened.
Yeah.
And then
What's the most viral tweet that you wrote?
the most viral tweet, I don't remember exactly. I should know that, but it was
Because I'm
definitely
sure you
to
had a
do with
tweet
abortion.
that like fucking probably.
Yeah, we had a lot. I
did
mean, there were some that had
millions.
millions of
Gretchen had a
impressions, for
few
sure.
because dude, Trump would quote tweet a Gretchen
Yeah,
tweet.
yeah,
It's just
literally.
this fucking idiot.
It was
or whatever.
crazy, yeah.
It's such a wild time to be working like in a political office for like
Yeah.
to be working in any political office, yes, but to be working for like for someone that was being literally called out by the president, like,
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah,
It's so
no,
crazy.
it was crazy, and like a weird time to be working on Twitter too, because I felt like I had like mastered Twitter. Like I felt so comfortable using Twitter and like understanding what makes a tweet
Data
viral and how to
points and
track
shit.
like
Yeah.
our
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
numbers and stuff. And then like Twitter's kind of gone to shit now.
It's an
I still love it though.
Yeah, you're still on it.
Oh yeah.
Tell the people where they can follow you on Twitter.
At Jesse Krugel, JESSEKRUGEL. And if you don't remember that, you can go to jessekrugel.com, which would include typing in the same letters. So
Now,
It wouldn't be
for
any
me, I think part of why fuck you, Jesse Krugel. I think part of it has to do with like, it's a good sound. Like you have a strong sounding name. Do you feel that way?
I like the phrase. It works well.
Yeah.
Fuck you with like a longer name wouldn't work
Right.
as well.
Right.
And it works well. My problem is like I would love to turn it into a production company,
Right.
like Bad Robot or something.
See, okay,
But-
so Yeah.
it would only work on like rated R movies. Like you can't put that on like
You can't make a
movie.
kids movie named.
So I'm
Fuck
thinking
You,
on
Jesse
shortening it just
Krugel.
to FUJK,
I like that.
like an FUJK production.
Because so last semester,
If I get to that stage, of
my
career.
ultimate semester, we brought you on to produce a 60mm short film, and
Yes.
and I'm thinking like when I'm thinking in terms of audience for this show, outside of my friends and family
and my friends.
and your friends and family, like the ideal audience I think would be like, you know, young adults and teens that want to go, that would be listening to the show to hear how other people that were like at this stage in their career / lives
Yeah.
would go about it. So like,
Yeah.
talk to me about like wanting to make a production company and like using Fuck You, Jesse Krugel, because so we brought you on to produce our 60mm short film,
Yeah.
and you were like, this was a Fuck You, Jesse Krugel production on there.
Yeah, I've been like ever since it happened at the festival 2 years ago. I've been thinking like, oh, it'd be so sick if that was like
Where do
my
we take
production
this?
company.
Yeah.
And it's just like Latent was gonna be shown to that small group of people, so I
Right.
was like, just for shits and gigs, like
Yeah.
throw it on there, see what happens.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this is related, but the other day I was talking to my brother about like the film program at Michigan, and he was like, yeah, well, you're just a part of Little Hollywood, bro. And it kind of is like that. I feel like the film community here is like created like this like mini Hollywood in a way. Like we're all
Right,
working on things, and
We all have our own screenings.
yeah, we all have our own screenings, and we're like talking
Yeah.
to people to build a team for our
Right,
production,
and like, filmmaking m-ag or like the
Yeah.
studios. or
yeah,
whatever,
it's kind of like that, and like there's
Interesting.
other independent projects going on, and
Mhm.
in a way, it's like that.
Is that a common outside perception of the program?
I don't know.
'Cause
I didn't think of it that way until he said Little Hollywood, bro.
The roommates that that I lived with, and their view were skewed a little bit because two of them worked at the same job I worked at, which
Yeah.
was dealing with film majors a lot.
yeah,
So the perception towards film majors from them and their friends was like,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
nerds,
Literally.
weirdos. So it's interesting to hear the Little Hollywood thing.
yeah. I guess from that perspective, that would make sense. But sometimes I feel like it is like that. Like I feel like I'm on my phone all the time, not like scrolling through Instagram, but just like responding to texts about like the production that we're shooting in a
What's going
week,
on? What's going
and
on?
like,
Yeah.
oh no, this actor canceled. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I feel like I am answering my phone as a big Hollywood producer.
As an exec, you need an assistant.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So we've covered.
I think for audience of this podcast though, like on a more like super targeted level, like people who may be interested in the film program here.
Right.
What's
oh,
it like?
interesting.
Like you're gonna be interviewing probably a few people who are in. that
Yeah,
program
I'm
here.
hopefully.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
How would I describe
The
film
film
program?
program
Here?
here.
I love it here. I love the professors. They're super nice, and I love the people. Like that's the reason I'm still in it. I think like I love being on set. Like people are so collaborative and welcoming and warm and open to ideas. Like I wouldn't have wanted to go to film school anywhere else, like NYU or USC, because
Mhm.
like I feel like it's, from what I hear, it's more
Definitely
competitive. People
more
are-
collaborative than
are trying
competitive
to
here.
use you instead of work
Mhm.
with you.
I think that's 100%.
I don't feel like anyone's trying to like step on my shoulders here that much.
I would agree with that. You know, there's bad apples everywhere.
For sure.
But I think, Katie, would you agree?
Yeah, I like everyone who's in our major. I feel like,
And I'm
I
so
feel like,
excited to just like bring them on to the next project.
Yeah, that is
There's people that you work with here that you just want to work with again.
because we covered Whitmer.
Yeah.
So the first semester of this last year, my final year
Yes.
in Ann Arbor at Michigan, your penultimate.
Yes.
I'm coming into the fall. All of my roommates have graduated. A lot of my friends in the program have graduated, and you know, I'm like, shit. What am I gonna? How am I gonna spend my days?
So true.
What am I gonna do with all this time? And you know, I had met Morgan obviously, and I knew Katie, and I heard that this guy Jesse Krugel had just been kicked up to the upper level management of this
M-Ag,
club,
yes.
m-agination. And now talk to me about that. Talk to me about the name of that a little bit.
The name?
Because it's not imagination.
No. It's a pun on the Michigan M.
Agination.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Katie, thoughts on that?
Oh, it's so good, so smart, so creative.
Yeah. A little bit of a tongue twister,
Yeah.
kind of hard to pronounce maybe for people who are unfamiliar.
I do find myself like changing my cadence whenever I
Yeah.
have to say it. It's like, yeah, I'm doing the imag thing.
I'm okay with it. I like it.
I think it works. I think it's good. I think
It's solid for a student production company.
and again,
that's-
if we're talking branding, if we're talking merchandising,
yeah.
if we're talking distribution, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's done a good job. But I hear that a lot of they lost a lot of bodies on the producing board,
They did, I think.
including and
Well, that's what happened going into the semester where we brought you on.
right.
I think part of it was just COVID, and like
Yeah.
I think COVID fucked over like a bunch of student organizations, just like with continuity. Like there was a year where people didn't really join anything, and that kind of messes up like
I fuck shit up.
the order of things
For
and
real.
people getting promoted to executive board and things like that.
So
But we
I
lost.
yeah, sorry.
We lost
That's-
and and they offered a lot of character to the organization, like socially, just like
energy. They're energy guys.
and enthusiasm.
You can't deny that.
And hilarity, if that's a word.
Jokes. They do bits. They do goofs and gags.
Exactly. That like we know that we needed for the organization to run the way it has and be the way that it is that we all know and love.
And you were down a soap track, and you were down
Exactly.
what looked like a Primac,
Yeah.
and you had lost
A Laura
a Granny and
Yeah.
a Jackson.
Yeah, some leaders and some funny people that we knew we needed to replace to like stick to our unsaid mission statement.
So yeah, and I remember
And I was the marketing and recruitment chair. So
I remember
was my
that.
job.
And I remember showing up to I think it was just like an m-agination meeting before school started.
Mhm.
Hanging out, trying to, really chum it up with you.
Mhm.
Because this was before we had really
Yeah.
come close.
Fallen in love. Oh.
Fallen in love. No, that was accurate.
Yeah.
I was trying to, do a little euphemism because in case your girlfriend watched this.
Oh. Yeah.
But she knows. So I'm trying to chum it up with you, and I think it may have been Katie Stone that was like, dude, you gotta fucking interview. You gotta try to.
no,
try
we
to set up
wanted
an
we
interview."
wanted you.
And I was like, are you gonna fast track me? And you guys were like,
Nah.
and I was like, yeah, we'll see. But then I remember going to the interviewing to be a producer from m-agination Productions at the University of Michigan. And I remember being nervous because it was my first interview. Because I had I had done a bad thing junior year where I didn't make any forward progress in the industry whatsoever. I not only did I not apply for like an internship or anything, I didn't update my resume or shit for
tough.
like a year.
That's like a whole other 4-credit class. I feel like sometimes though.
Oh, absolutely.
Updating the resume, applying to internships.
That's
like,
hours and hours out of your life
interviewing.
that you won't get back.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I'm coming into my senior year of college being like, oh shit, I've been wasting time, which I felt partly justified for because of that
COVID.
whole thing that we've been talking about. Charlie, come on, we're close. We're almost done.
So cute.
He is pretty cute. I'm gonna try to get her on an episode one of these days. Get a little mic on
That would be great. Yeah. Give her the little duck toy.
But but I'm like, I have to interview for this because I need to do something. And I remember walking into the interview and I think the first thing that was said when I opened the door was you being like, oh, this guy.
I was excited to interview
And I
you.
was like, this guy.
Yeah.
And that was, I'm imagining that's going to be the easiest interview. Not because it was like you guys threw me softballs. You guys asked me good questions. But that was like, oh, I'm being interviewed by 3 people that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to pull me up.
Yeah.
So in terms of people that are wondering, how to do the student film thing, I don't know if this story will be a best example because you guys, I think, wanted me in there, and I was doing that interview under the pretense that I was kind of already gonna get it. But I will say, So I did the interview. You guys offered me the spot, the
Yeah.
position, because of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
But then at the first mass producer meeting, I'm sitting with all the new producers, and I'm like, I got nervous again because I was in a new spot with new people,
Yeah.
and like I hadn't been the new person in a minute. And like I felt old because I remember, dude. I'm sitting and
Yeah, that's interesting.
you were there right when I walked in. You're like, what's up, Hunter? How you doing? And I was like, hey, good to see you, man. Dapped you up. And then you're like, I gotta go get Will Shahab. And like you left. I didn't see you for like another 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. So I'm sitting in a room, and this is actually kind of a fun story for me to tell because it's me, and then Claire Colazar's there, who I had met on the Rosebud set.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I said, hey, Claire. And she, I think, was feeling a little shy. It was new. Nobody had met each other yet. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're all close now. But then it was Charlie Woodman who lost her voice and
Yeah.
I think was
that was so funny. They
sign
were
language
talking.
the whole time.
Oh, and I thought it was a bit too. I thought it was a bit.
And then it was like Peter, who didn't say a word to me, who we're tight now.
Yeah.
I don't think he said one word to me.
Yeah.
And then, oh, fuck, who else was in that room, dude?
Glicks.
Rebecca Glicksman
Yeah.
didn't say a word to me really
Yeah.
beyond, hey, what's up?
Amy,
Kevin. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I was trying to talk. I was trying to do jokes, dude. I was not getting anything. And I was like, oh shit, dude. Did I fuck up here? Did I fuck up? But then
That's why we brought you on.
Yeah,
you are the person to bring the jokes.
well, the script meeting was great. Again, I felt like I was talking more than I should have just because everyone was shy off the bat.
Yeah.
Which happens in the fall script meeting.
For sure.
But then, and I do want to give a quick shout out to our boy Will Shahab because I
Yeah.
felt like when
You should bring him on this.
I really
Gotta.
want to, but our timing's just not going to line up. I don't think.
Yeah. Unless you,
When does that
Yeah.
fucker get back from Spain?
I don't know.
I mean, he would just be
He would be such
an
a
awesome
character.
guest.
Yeah.
I could probably get him to freestyle on the show.
100%. 100%.
Dude. This was to say that whole first semester of M-Ag after that script meeting, I didn't see you because you were working on the Whitmer campaign.
Yeah.
I think I saw you probably once or twice that
Yeah.
whole semester, which bummed me out.
Yeah.
But it happens. You're saving democracy or whatever the fuck was going on there. Who knows, dude? We'll leave that up to interpretation of the viewer. But then second semester, you're back in the fucking saddle.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking classes again.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you, along with the wonderful, incomparable Abby Lee,
Mm-hmm.
who I think she's
Yeah.
back in New York
Yeah.
now, right? I think she left.
Yeah, she's.
Otherwise, I'd love to get her on.
I
the
saw she was
show
at a
as well.
Mets game the other day on her
Yeah,
Instagram
she's
story.
gone. She fucking, those coastal elite types, dude, they can't hang around the Midwest
Yeah.
like for a second
Yeah.
longer than they need to.
For
So
sure.
she was on the first jet out of here.
Yeah.
I hope she listens to this.
So funny.
Can you imagine her listening to this on the bus or something?
She would just giggle. She'd be like, "Oh, Hunter and Jesse."
They're so funny. Me, you, and Abby Lee get placed in a, I hesitate to toot our own horns here, but an upper level writing class. Screenwriting class. Katie, don't shake your head, Katie. At the University of Michigan. Shout out Dan Shear.
The goat.
I know he'll listen to this. And I'm obviously not gonna air out details of our highly confidential and high stakes writing group, but we all had 3 stories that I felt were very strong, and I don't think I'm overstepping to say that yours revolved around summer camp.
Yeah.
Which is very personal to you. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say my cousins, who you are fairly familiar with,
Yeah.
they're more in line with the with the breed of Jew that you're familiar with.
Yes. Oh, yes. The
Which is
Ashkenazi.
Absolutely the Ashkenazi. The suburban Detroit
Yes.
Reformed Jew, which a staple of that is like 2 months of summer camp every summer from like
course.
5 to it's 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
I personally, from the other side of the state, the southwest side of the state, I went to a YMCA summer camp.
Oh, intriguing.
I went to Sherman Lake. Shout out Sherman Lake Summer Camp, YMCA, 2-week session at max, usually 1-week session. So I just wanted to clear the air with that, get that out of the way. But now I'm gonna shut up and I want you to tell me what Jewish summer camp means to you.
Jewish summer camp to me, wow. It's
Or
very.
you don't have to answer that question if you don't want to, but tackle this however you.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing up. Like you grow up at summer camp. For me, it always felt like a preview to the next year of school in terms of
Interesting.
social development.
I love that.
Like the year like the boys started kissing the girls was the year right before they started doing that in school, and like stuff like that. So you definitely grow up at summer camp, and it's cool because you leave your friends at the end of the summer and you pick up right where you left off right when you get back. And you think that summer camp would be stress free, but I felt like there was a lot of stresses at summer camp. There's stresses about like your social status.
Oh, absolutely. I
camp,
mean,
and,
it's
like-
it's there's the academic subtext obviously is out of it, but that pressure, that adolescent pressure is
Yeah.
absolutely
And there's
there.
no parents. Like
Yeah.
like you say, oh, but there's counselors. Like
Yeah.
my counselors
Yeah,
were
right.
17.
You think about what you were doing at 17,
Yeah.
bro. You're like in charge of.
Yeah.
Did you? No. Okay.
And I was a counselor for
you
3
did
years.
the counselor
Yeah.
thing.
And like I looked after my kids, but I also wanted to have a fun summer too.
Wanted to fucking smoke weed and fucking hook up. So okay.
Exactly.
Was your first kiss at summer camp?
My first like
Ever.
10 kisses were at summer camp.
You couldn't translate it. You couldn't translate it back to
No,
the
I
school
couldn't
year?
come back to Michigan. I went to summer camp in Canada. So the first like 10 girls I
No.
kissed were Canadian.
No,
And
you're still
I
lying
couldn't-
to us. You go back to school and say, dude, I kissed so many girls.
And they're
in
like, you don't
summer
know, you
camp."
go to another
They're,
school.
they're all in Canada, dude. It was in Canada where we did
No
it.
one believed me.
I fucking bet. No, that's funny though.
No,
Yeah.
but the hookup culture at camp is crazy. Like, someone once made like a web that like connected everyone at camp.
Everyone had hooked up with each other. I was gonna say you're like an NBA player. When you see an NBA player in the summer, like in an empty gym, just like they're like, "Oh, dude, Montrezl Harrell fixed his 3-point. He's nailing threes now." But then the season comes and they can't translate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So tell me the name of your first kiss. Please let it be so Jewish.
I think it is Dahlia.
Ooh, Weinberger.
Not Weinberger.
You don't have to say her last name if you don't want to.
Not Weinberger.
And so first kiss was at summer camp.
Mhm.
First.
I don't know what the look is insinuating. I'm gonna say that one. Yes.
In the where was it? In the canoes?
Not in the canoes.
Behind the cabin?
Not by the cabin.
Was it in the cabin?
Maybe.
It was in a bunk?
Maybe.
Was it Dahlia?
No.
That's so cool, dude.
Oh God. I hope this one doesn't make the cut.
You hope I cut this out? I can cut anything out that you want me
We'll
to.
see.
I can also just bleep it.
That'd be fun.
but
That'd be
like
funny.
but
That'd
like
be really funny.
but you wanted to talk about summer camp, and I was going to obviously ask you about getting your dick sucked at summer camp.
Oh yeah, I prepared that. I said hookup city,
Hook up
sneaking
city,
out.
sneaking out.
Web
Now that's
connecting
interesting because
Oh my God,
you're not
sneaking
allowed
out's so
to
fun.
you're not allowed to have your phone there.
Correct.
So it's like an old fashioned like at the dining hall for dinner. You're like,
Yeah.
hey Dahlia,
Want to meet me by the ropes course tonight?
11:30.
Yup.
Meet by the ropes course. Was that a real one?
Yes. Yeah. I hooked up at the ropes course. There was a giant pine tree there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about it? It was
You would
good
go
cover.
You would go behind there and hide.
God damn. To be
Also, when I
young
say
again.
hook up, I don't mean like sex.
no, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
dude,
Some
I've
people
always
define
On
felt
the
differently.
pine needles. That was crazy.
a lot of sap.
People did at camp fuck at the top of the ropes course. Like
What?
they got
Oh,
on a
that's kinda
harness and
cool.
climbed all the way up.
What?
Like late at night.
I wish I could say I've done
Yeah,
that. That's
right?
awesome.
Are you sure they didn't lie to you about that?
No, I know. Like I was a
saw
counselor,
it.
and my co-counselor best friend did that.
Ah, was it They say it was good.
He had a blast.
He had a blast. I guess that's all you can ask for is to have a blast.
But hooking up at camp is gross.
Gross because
Like
you're
it's camp.
dirty.
You're dirty. Where you are is dirty, and like yeah.
That kind of. I mean, yes, it's gross. But I kind of like.
Oh, summer camp is the best.
I was an anti-camp kid.
Yeah. No, a lot of people are, and I see both sides.
Why?
I'm allergic to dairy and nuts.
It's hard if you have an allergy because the food already sucks. So the alternative food options are like horrendous.
Yeah, here's a graham cracker.
And then
Yeah, literally.
And then all the people who went to camp in my hometown were all like super religious.
Yeah.
And I wasn't part of that religion.
Jew.
No. And
Catholicism.
no.
Mormon.
Evangelical Christians.
Ooh.
I don't know what Christian camp's like, but
Hey.
Jewish camp is literally just like incest.
What do you mean incest?
We're all Ashkenazis, bro.
We all come from
Yeah.
Abraham or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
No, we're far enough removed now. That's not a problem.
I'm okay, but the Canadian people there who's like their third cousin that they don't know, like it could happen.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Anything else
Just
you
wrote
want?
down incest camp. I hope
Incest
you.
camp.
Perfect.
Anything else you want to say about camp?
I just think I would recommend
If there's any kids
every
listening.
parent, if there's any kids listening,
any
beg
parents?
your parents to send you to camp.
And if there's any
If
parents,
there's any parents listening, send your kid to camp.
Send your
I think
fucking
there's a
kid to
lot
camp.
of growth that can happen when you're away from your parents and around other kids.
I really like what you said about the preview to the next school year. I think that's really interesting.
I always felt that way. I was like, what are people going to be talking about? What are people going to be doing? It'll
Guys,
be
what are
reflected
people
at
gonna
school
be
next year.
talking about?
Yeah, I
That's
mean, when I was a counselor,
interesting.
2 years ago, like my kids were all Fortnite, and that was like predictable. But like, they would do Fortnite dances. They would talk about Fortnite. They would do Fortnite
dances.
slang. I can't remember any of it, but
Yeah,
like,
go touch grass,
yeah. Oh my god,
idiot.
the slang is crazy, especially when it's mixed with like suburban Toronto slang.
Ugh.
I come back with a Canadian accent, so like they say like pasta instead of pasta,
Oof.
and then when you're like at the table, you're like pasta, please.
Oh God, dude, that's awful.
Yeah, it was funny.
And you're done with it now. You've tapped out.
I probably most likely will not be going back to camp, but I for sure will send my kids to summer camp.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, let's talk about what's next for you, man. This summer, what do you got planned this summer?
I'm interning unpaid in LA for 2 film production companies, Atlas Entertainment and Film Nation Entertainment.
2.
2.
God damn, my man.
One of them was 2 days a week. I felt like
Yeah, you can double up there.
I wanted to get more
I did
out
2
of my time.
once.
Yeah.
I thought it's actually not. It's doable for sure.
I'm excited, and like it'll probably be challenging, but I'm not worried. I worked 7 days a week on the campaign. Like I think I
Yeah,
can-
that's true.
I think I
After
can
you've done
do
the
it.
campaign, this is gonna feel like fucking.
I hope
nothing.
so. I hope so.
And you move out there when?
Driving to LA on Wednesday, the 10th of May.
God damn, man.
2 days.
God damn.
Yeah. And
Well-
I'll see you out there.
I'll fucking see you out there, man. Katie, anything else? Any last minute things?
I kind of always am baffled by like unhinged camp stories.
Oh my god.
If you have any.
Yeah, let's get one
Um,
real good camp story.
So this is like so politically incorrect. We we would do this thing as the older group of boys called the Haka. And the Haka is this like Maori war dance.
dance.
Like from like yeah. Yeah. And it's
Oh,
so
shit.
culturally inappropriate
Oh no.
that like they would teach the 13 and 12-year-old boys this dance.
Little
Wait, they
Jewish.
taught it?
Oh, we taught it and then we performed it in front of the entire camp.
Little Jewish boys.
Little Jewish, scrawny, white Jewish boys.
That's crazy.
And we did it in front of the camp. And it's so culturally inappropriate because like that's not our culture at all. But I love
You're not an indigenous Australian
No,
or whatever,
no.
New Zealand.
No, not at all. But it
Aboriginal.
was awesome because yes, this dance was great, but it wasn't about the dance,
It
guys.
fires you up.
And which is why I'm so conflicted about this.
Wait.
What they would do is every like Saturday night they would bring the boys into this room and we'd all take our shirts off and be in our shorts sitting. It was like hazing at a fraternity but for like 12 and 13-year-old boys. And they would make us sit crisscross applesauce in this hot and sweaty room and they'd be like, breathe, and then everyone would go and and they would sit us in this room like single file and yell at us for like 2 hours, and we'd be like sweating, and like the fire alarm would literally go off because it got so hot in there, and
What
then
were
they would
yelling?
they were just like being like, and this is, I think it's actually like it was helpful because like they
Built
were like
character.
yelling, yeah, it built character. They were like, it was like bonding, and like they were telling us how to be good people. So this is actually the part about it that's good, I think. The bad part is that we were culturally appropriating this dance.
Sure.
And then they would teach us the dance, and like we would do it like all out. Like I've never hit myself harder when we like did the knee slaps and like the chest pounds. Like, they would fire us up so hard that like we would come back just like bruised.
Yeah. And then
Self-inflicted.
you go play rugby or something after that? Or?
No, we played this game called Garbage Ball, which is like no rules. There's 2 big
no
gray garbage
rules.
bins. Someone has a ball, and you just have to get the ball in the bin.
bin.
However you can. You literally just like murder people.
I'd be shooting.
And like we would tell the camp administration that like, oh yeah, we're going to play soccer tonight.
Yeah.
And soccer would be garbage ball. And like we like our like 21-year-old counselors, those are like the oldest counselors,
Sure.
would be like, and they're ripped.
Yeah,
Would like
they work
they
out.
would be like tackling us to get the ball.
Yeah.
And just like people would just like get so bruised and like hurt, but it was so fun.
Was it like counselors versus the kids?
So we would play like cabin versus cabin with the counselors,
Okay.
and then we would do a counselors versus kids game.
Did you get absolutely demolished?
Yes, but it was so fun for like the one time that you got to like
Yeah,
tackle
dude.
your cat. Like when
Oh.
there's 10 kids on like a 20-year-old, like they're gonna get him down
Yeah.
eventually, and like that's fun.
I do remember
And
playing.
no one got seriously hurt.
No,
It's camp.
no one.
You horse around. It's
It's
camp.
camp. You horse around.
Even if someone cracks a collarbone, it's camp.
Exactly.
I remember playing capture the fucking flag
So fun.
at camp, dude, and there was nothing better than when like the big count, like the count, you know, because the counselors I remember at my camp being old, like in their 20s, like college and graduated college,
Yeah.
and you get some dudes that were big,
Yeah.
some diesels.
Oh yeah.
And there's nothing better than when you get like your whole cabin on that guy, and he's
Yeah. And like he can't handle like 10, 13-year-olds. Like he's gonna go down eventually. It's just,
Forget
like,
tackling
science.
you know what? That's good stuff, man.
It was fun. And I love talking about summer camp on all my like job interviews. I
Yeah.
think it's very applicable to almost anything in a way.
Yeah.
It's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
Like
You're
on
on
the
the clock.
campaign, I felt like I was working a lot, but like when it's
Not like
2
camp.
a.m. and my camper's freaking out, like I can't just go to bed. Like I'm working 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be like, fuck you, Johnny.
Yeah, it's like
I'm going to bed.
yeah. So I love summer camp. Big advocate for it.
All right, man.
This was a blast.
I had so much fun. I hope this isn't the last time that we get to do this.
I would love to come back in a couple years.
I would love to have you on
Yeah.
once you're out. Once
Yeah.
you finish. Cause that'll be cool. Cause then we can like compare. Cause you were episode 1.
That's crazy.
Episode
I
1
hope this
of
makes
the
it
program.
live.
It
Yeah.
will. This one, as long as that camera's still recording,
Yeah.
which it looks
Kind of looks off.
kind of looks off, but we'll go see it in a second.
That's okay. Most of the good content was like
There was good
before we hit the
content.
hour.
And I would love to do like a retrospective or something. Have you on
I think
later.
it's gonna be really funny to listen to this in 10 years.
Yeah,
So
when we're rich and famous.
I hope so.
Don't take off your stuff yet, because I want to get a pic. Shake my hand.
Oh my
No
God.
daps. I want to get a picture of you in the cans.
Yeah.
But this has been a lot of fun, dude.
I've had so much fun. The time flew by.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
Oh,
Thanks
it's
for
been a
coming
blast.
on.
Anytime, guys. You guys are thanking me, but it was such an honor.
That's great. All right. Peace out, you mother.